Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Pisces, thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading, first love reading I'm doing for Pisces on my channel. Thank you so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Also, please remember to hit the bell notification button so that you can be notified of videos when I release them. I'm working on the water signs right now. Hopefully I can get out a lot of readings today and tomorrow. Pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about all of the wonderful feedback that I've received on this channel. So it just reinforces my feeling that I'm meant to be here. So thank you so much. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers or respond to anyone who tries to solicit a private reading. That claims to be me. I will never do that first. I do offer private readings, and you can find the information about that on the in the about section of my YouTube page. But I will never reach out to you first. So I just want you to keep yourselves safe. I do have to repeat it every single time just in case there are, and hopefully there will be a lot of new viewers in the future. But this is a love reading, 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for the clarifiers, and 1 oracle card. So the tarot deck that I'm using is going to be the Tarot of the Abyss, a beautiful black and white deck, and for the oracle it's going to be the Wild Unknown Alchemy, which has this beautiful these hexagonal shaped cards. They're not the easiest to shuffle, but they're really dark and broody, and thank you, Spirit. They're really dark and broody, and I love them. So I hope you do too, Pisces. All right, Pisces, 4 cards. I'm going to, well, the first card just popped right out. They were pre-shuffled, and now I'm shuffling again just to get your base spread. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that you all manifested for the 8/8 portal. I'll be honest with you, that was the first time that I ever truly manifested. I've written things down here and there, but I never actually quieted myself enough and sat still to really be clear about what I wanted to manifest. And you know, this process can be scary sometimes. Because what if we get what we want, right? So, all right, Pisces. I am a Pisces moon, so I always feel beautiful affinity to Pisces. And I chose this crystal for you. This is beautiful amethyst, small amethyst tower. I chose this crystal because it reminds me of my sister, who is also a Pisces sun. So lots of water signs between us. Pisces, the first card will be your current circumstances in love. You have the King of Swords in the reverse, which is Gemini energy. This card showed up in the Cancer reading, so if you have any Cancer placements, you might want to watch that reading. The King of Swords in this deck is pretty spectacular. He's standing on high. And what's most notable about this card is the labyrinth behind him. It kind of denotes a person with a lot of strategic thinking, a strategic mind. His crown chakra is very highly activated. It is divine masculine, but it doesn't have to mean that this is referring to a man, although it could. We all have divine masculine, divine feminine energies within us. King of Swords is usually a person who is an authority figure, doctor, lawyer, somebody with a judge, somebody with accreditation, credentials of some kind, therapist, somebody who is an expert and knows that they're smart and knows that they're an expert in whatever field that is. Although what I wanted, there was like a caveat to that showed up in my brain, which was, you know, they might be the expert in their field, but if anyone were to challenge them, they would make it known that they also know and believe through and through that they're an expert, right? So there's no question about it. But we did get this card in reverse, but I do want to point out what's going on in this area right here, which is something that I never really paid attention to before. It's this kind of, I need bifocals at this point, like, I don't know. It looks almost like a compass. It looks like a star, but it also looks like a compass that's pointing north, at least to me. So it's talking about directionality. The fact that you got this card in the reverse, right? So that compass is now pointing down, and it suggests that the King of Swords sword is pointing down. So there's kind of been there's a lack of clarity right now in terms of these, in terms of your love life, in terms of, you know, maybe where you stand, or maybe you're trying to hammer out some details, some boundaries that you never had to worry about before, because now this is clarified by the 8 of Swords. So for a water sign, you have 2 air cards that denote your current circumstances. So Pisces, are you all up in your head about something? Did you recently have a conversation with a spouse or a lover or a significant other or a crush that kind of threw you for a loop? 8 of Swords talks about anxiety, self-imposed bondage, as we can see this character. It's almost like she's wrapped up in her own hair, which makes me then think of Tangled and Rapunzel. I love that movie. I love that movie. But the thing about that movie is, you know, who's the love interest in that movie? It's Flynn Rider, right? He's this bad boy, rogue energy. There's something about rogue energy. Are you going rogue? Is your love interest or crush, are they going rogue? Are they off the beaten path? I'm not sure. What I do know is, again, swords pointed down. So right now, either a conversation occurred where you just need some clarity on something, or a conversation hasn't occurred and you want it to occur. So maybe your crush or your significant other, or they're just elusive to you right now. And instead of just staying in the moment, right? It's really hard to stay in the moment, to just meditate and bring everything back to center, to the present space. It's really hard to do that. That's why we need to practice it a lot. I think I'm just talking to myself right now, but here we are. You're really up in your head about something, and it's almost kind of like, it's like, I'm seeing Superman when he turns from Clark Kent, like, into Superman. I guess in the old Supermans from like the 70s, 80s, Clark Kent used to go into a phone booth and like do his thing in the phone booth. Like, he used to spin around and take off his glasses and suddenly he was Superman, right? But it's almost like you're just like wanting to rip off all of these chains and that bind you, all of these thoughts, and rip them off. And I just see like the buttons flying everywhere. This is a very specific image, but it's almost like you're fed up. You're just like, I want to free myself of this confusion regarding a romantic, I mean, it could be a friendship circumstance. Just because it's a love reading doesn't mean it has to be romantic love, right? Maybe there's a friendship that is, there's a little tension right now, or a little confusion behind it. So this is I just feel a lot of like, I'm like in a confined space. Like I just want to break out of this. But the only way to do that, Spirit just said, the only way to do that is to open your mouth. So, my goodness, okay, well, so this is what I am seeing as a suggestion, although it's not necessarily the official line from Spirit. It's just my kind of line. Maybe it would be a good idea to write it down. Writing down helps us to clarify our thoughts. That's why people make lists, because it's too much to keep inside your head, right? It's too much. And also, when you write it down, you can start to see your train of thought. Sometimes you can't see it when you're in it, but if you write it all down and then you set it aside and come back to it, you can say, wow, what was I even thinking here? You might be making a situation bigger in your head than it actually is. So that's a strong message. What are your challenges right now? Challenges. You have the Fool card in the reverse. This is card number 0. It's the first card in the tarot. It talks about taking a leap of faith. If you can see here, this character, this beautiful divine feminine character, she's standing on the precipice. She's standing on a cliff face, and it's this idea, it's a metaphorical idea of taking a leap of faith. And what's wonderful about this is just seeing that suggestion of the sun energy. Anytime you see the sun energy in tarot, it's really, really significant. A new day dawning, illumination where there was none before, but you got it in the reverse. So the challenge right now is that you want to have, sorry, I think I got too close to the camera. You want to have a new beginning. You want just, maybe for yourself, I just want to start over. I just want to move to a new town or meet new people, or not think about the past person. The Fool in reverse, clarified by the 5 of Cups. Look, isn't this amazing? It's almost as if this same cliff face is this same cliff face, right? You're unable to take this necessary leap of faith because you're sitting on the edge and quite literally lamenting something. I feel like it's very internal, Pisces. I gotta admit it. Like, there might be a lot of good things going on in your life right now, things you should be really proud of, but it's a very blocked energy. All of the chakras just right down in the center of alignment are all blocked. It's almost like, it's like, in a way, it's like the fetal position, but in the upright. Just really closing in on oneself. The 5 of Cups is a card that talks about a change of perspective, that you might be seeing spilled cups on the ground, spilled opportunity, but you're not recognizing that there are 2 cups still standing. 2 of Cups in the tarot represents a divine union. So we also could be talking about self-love here. Take it all as it resonates, and if it doesn't resonate, then maybe it's not your reading, right? This is a general reading, but it's very clear, though, this, especially because we're talking about 2 cliff faces here. They're absolutely connected in terms of, in my thinking, these are absolutely connected. This is the reason why you can't take that leap of faith like Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. By far the best of the series, right? By far. And he's, Indiana Jones, there's that one scene, he can't see the bridge in front of him. And he literally puts his hand on his heart. And he just has to take that leap of faith and believe in himself. It's almost like you got this far. He got that far. You got this far, Pisces. You made it this far. It's almost like just one last step for yourself. One last step for yourself. What are your strengths right now? Well, this is interesting. Queen of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups usually represents the Cancer energy. In this deck, the court cards of the Cups suit are all represented on a ship. So it's like they're not in the water, but they're on the water. Water representing the kind of psychic energies, the subconscious, the unconscious, the mysterious realms, the intuitive realms. Queen of Cups is a very loving, graceful. When I say graceful, it's not like graceful in her maybe graceful in her emotional movements, but there's a lot of grace to a really elevated Queen of Cups who has so much love for herself or himself. It's represented by Divine Feminine here, but a man can certainly be a Queen of Cups, doesn't matter. It's just energy. The Queen of Cups has so much love for themselves that they have an abundance to give to others, right? It's this idea that if you're just up in high vibration, it's this infectious thing. It's like your aura is glowing and you're just gonna cause everybody around you to glow. It's infectious, right? The Queen of Cups here is in the reverse, and when I see the Queen of Cups in reverse and it's as a strength, it means that you're working on yourself. That maybe in the past, in the recent past, you have been and maybe with love relationships, you've been focusing way too much on the other person. I wanted to say sidestepping something. So maybe in the past you were like walking on eggshells with a former partner. Like maybe things that you said would trigger them, and then that would trigger you, and then that would trigger them. It's kind of vicious cycle. But you're in this place now where you're focusing on yourself, and you know that only you can make yourself happy. And if you're trying to make the other person happy, you know, it's never going to work, because that's their responsibility, not yours. You can help them by helping them to elevate themselves and believing in them, but you can't make them love themselves. They have to do that on their own. Clarifying that is the Wheel of Fortune. This is an amazing card. One of the readers I love to watch on YouTube, she always says it's called the Wheel of Fortune, not the Wheel of Misfortune. Represents Jupiter energy. Whenever I talk about Jupiter, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know very much about it. I mean, I know enough to get by. I just heard the Spoon song, That's the Way We Get By. That's very specific for somebody. It's a Spoon song, That's the Way We Get By. The Wheel of Fortune, it's represented by Jupiter because Jupiter is just such a huge entity in our cosmos, right? Our immediate cosmos. And it protects us. It protects the Earth from all the asteroids that would normally, if Jupiter wasn't there, Earth wouldn't exist, because it's protecting us from all of those asteroids pelting us, right? So it's like a force. It's literally a force to be reckoned with. So there's something here that's saying, you know, all in divine timing, as the Wheel of Fortune must be. But as you start to ascend, as your spirit starts to ascend, as your knowledge, your spiritual knowledge starts to elevate, become more sophisticated, abundance will start to flow to you. Have you ever noticed that? I mean, that's the idea right behind time flying. When you're with friends that you absolutely love to the depth of your soul, and you just have a blast with them. You could spend all day with them and then wonder where did the day go, because you're just having so much fun. It seems like time speeds up. It's just like we don't have enough because we're just having so much fun. So just imagine, it's like translate that feeling to the rest of your life. Things are going to speed up. The feeling of abundance, right? Because It's not about money. It's not about things when you're with your friends. It's just about their company. It's about their energy. So it's kind of telling me here that you may be looking forward towards that Wheel of Fortune. Sorry. Feeling very weird frog in my throat. Sometimes that happens when, honestly, it's energy that I'm picking up because it doesn't normally happen to me when I talk. So anytime I interpret that as an energy out there trying to block something that I want to say. It could be your own doubt. Just saying, well, you know, I can't see the forest for the trees. I don't see a way out of this. And so me coming in and saying, oh, but like things are going to be so great. It's just, maybe you're not in a glass half full energy right now. And here I am trying to tell you, no, you're doing the right thing. You're taking care of yourself, and you're going to work on your vibration and you'll work on your manifestations. And then you're going to watch it all come to you. Maybe you're not in that energy right now. Doubt is one of the most negative things that we can do to ourselves. To have doubt, to possess it, to think that it's our only option. It's one of the worst things we can do to hinder growth. And we're never going to take that leap of faith if we keep doubting if Spirit's going to catch us or not. So it's something to contemplate right now while you're taking care of yourself. This is a strength. What does that mean, taking care of ourselves? Well, what I just heard was boundaries. Sometimes boundaries towards other people with, you can do it with kindness. You can do it with kindness and compassion. But putting up a boundary, maybe you're not hanging out with those same friends 5 nights a week. Maybe you're not drinking with them anymore, or smoking up with them. Maybe you're not tolerating their negative talk. You're putting a limit on it. They can vent to you for half an hour, and then that's it. Let's go do something fun. That's a form of self-care. Also getting a good night's sleep, eating well, speaking kindly to yourself. All self-care. What's advice from Spirit? You got the Knight of Swords. And I do want to just go forward and say it's clarified by the Sun. Best card in the deck. This is Spirit's advice. You are going to receive a massive either download or piece of information. The Knight of Swords always rushes in with a very vital piece of information. And Spirit is saying, when you receive it, about whomever is the object of your affection, or your beloved, or your relationship to your beloved, it's going to put your mind at ease. You know what I actually just heard just now? That rejection is God's protection, right? And redirection. So it's maybe there was a situation where you had feelings for somebody and they rejected you, but then you later see some clarity about that person, and you thank your lucky stars. You thank your lucky stars you didn't end up with them. What a blessing. That's what I just heard. What a blessing. So I don't know what it is. That's kind of that's not an obvious way to interpret that, but this is what I heard. Spirit gave me that story very clearly. That's for one person out there. But the Sun energy is the most positive energy in the entire deck. 78 cards. It's the most positive one. The Sun is life force itself, right? Within this picture of the Sun, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, It's almost like looking through a window and there's a path ahead, a very clear path. So it's 2 cards of intense clarity that Spirit is bringing to you, and they're advising you, look at it directly, see it for what it is, acknowledge that when you get that clarity, that it represents something beneficial to you. We want to be the thing we want to attract. If you're looking for somebody super hot, right? Let's be superficial for a second. If you want to attract a very, very attractive person superficially, we're just speaking to superficially, then how are you maintaining yourself to be attractive to a person that you deem attractive? Are you on that level? Do you operate on that level? It's not about spending a ton of money, right? Some of the best dressers that I know shop at thrift stores, okay? It's not about, it's swag, it's attitude, it's confidence. There's some people that might not be considered supermodels, but when you're around them, they have swag, they have really powerful sexuality, they have really intense charisma, they're seductive, they're charming, alluring. Are you all those things? I'm not saying that you have to be. This is just an example, right? Or you want to attract somebody with a great amount of wealth. Okay, what are you doing to be attractive to that? You know, are you continuing to learn, to grow your career, to educate yourself, right? Because we have to be those things, whatever it is that we want. Not everybody needs like a rich this and a superficial that. We don't know, you know, we want to be attracted to our partner, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So Spirit's really advising you to see things as they are, look at them directly. So that's your love reading. I'm gonna pull a card from the wild unknown. Excuse me, Cancer. Oh, wow, why did I say Cancer? Pisces. Maybe you're gonna meet a Cancer. As a Cancer, I think that's a great idea. I can't even. The moon. First of all, you have the sun, the moon, and the moon in your reading. So perhaps by the next eclipse, right? Whenever you see the sun, the moon together in a reading, I like to think of it as eclipse energy. Don't know when the next eclipse is going to be, but whatever that date is, that might be a powerful manifestation time for you. The moon represents both Cancer and Pisces as the sun is coming out past the clouds. My room just got so much brighter. It's like Spirit's giving you the moon. Usually in tarot, when the hand comes out, it represents an ace. To the moon and back. I love you to the moon and back. Word Luna reminds me of my little cat Luna. She's all white. And that's thus her name. What's so crazy is that I got the sun for Cancer. So you could be meeting a Cancer or vice versa, you know? They could be meeting you. Let's read from the book. Mystery, receptivity, intuition. The moon represents the mother of all mysteries. Once a month it slips into the full spotlight and then quietly disappears, only to initiate the cycle again. Gifting us with the message of impermanence, the moon reminds us that we are in constant transition, a continual process of letting go. It is the yin principle, one of listening rather than speaking. This card may indicate a time of rest and restoration is in order, or that a new depth of spiritual practice calls. Dreams and memories may be especially vivid. The gates to the liminal realm may have opened. The alchemist's task is to be receptive to its message, right? Be receptive to its message. Be patient, though, as the moon speaks in the language of symbols, and deciphering its messages takes time and receptivity. Magic is afoot. Sink into it, sweet child. The moon has a cooling and soothing effect on the psyche. Think of this lunar card bringing a sense of ease and stillness to the surrounding cards. What a beautiful way to celebrate Pisces energy. I will say, you showed up in your own reading. That's your reading, Pisces. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that something resonated for you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Pisces.